It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a spectacle. From San Francisco to Long Island. 'Cause nothing's better than a motion picture.
It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando,
And I'm Kevin Carr.
and this is It's Movie Time.
It is movie time.
And Kevin, I love your glasses.
Thank you.
And
They're prescription.
yeah, I'm glad you had those because I forgot what we were doing today. But I think we're reviewing last year.
Yeah, they're old glasses.
They are, and but for dyslexics it works just right. There you go. It is 2023, and Kevin, there are several ways that we could go about reviewing last year.
Yeah.
But I thought we'd start out big.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody that I know has ever seen as many movies as you have seen. You're a syndicated film critic, and you have to be on top of everything that comes out all the time. So that I notice you don't even have a list in front of you, which is typical of you because there's a very capacious mind filled with everything. But on this
Thank
one,
you.
let's start out with, what do you think, Kevin Carr, the best movie last year was?
Okay, so, well, the best movie last year, that's a loaded question
I
because
know.
we all know when you do the best of the year list and stuff, it's fully subjective, and movie reviews are fully subjective.
Yes.
My personal favorite was Asteroid City. I'm a huge
Good.
Wes Anderson fan.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, it's almost like he's now trying to outquirk himself. But they're still fun. I wasn't a huge fan of the French Dispatch,
Okay.
but I really liked Asteroid City. I think he manages to sort of zero in on that charm and that surreal nature of looking at families and dysfunction within a family. But in this one, it's also mirrored by dysfunction in government and what you can believe, and sort of this veneer of the 50s/60s and sort of the that space age, atomic age, where it was still fascinating and not terrifying.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, it doesn't appear on many lists
No, it
these
doesn't.
days, right? But Asteroid City is certainly quirky and inventive and imaginative. And,
Yeah.
so I applaud you. It's of course not going to win the Oscar.
No,
we know
no.
that.
It's going to get some nominations.
Yeah.
It probably is not. I don't know. Maybe Best Picture with 10. Who knows? But
Well, for
Probably
me,
not.
and I'll tell you, I'm so happy with this year because I'm having difficulty deciding on the best, let's say the best movie. And so I think currently, here, let me hedge it and just say, I think there are three that are up. I think Barbie's up.
yeah.
I believe Oppenheimer's up.
Uh-huh.
And my favorite is Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah. Killers of the Flower Moon's in my top 5.
Yeah.
Actually, top 3. It's
Yeah.
in my number 3.
And as you were talking about Wes Anderson, and I think in Scorsese's, we have just about everything good that he does, including the historicity of it,
Yeah.
including the pathetic nature of our treating the natives, and so I thought everything worked there. With some very good performances by some leading actors, and we do have.
And Lily Gladstone. I think she
And
really
I
holds
was
her
going
own.
to say, and I think she's going to take the Oscar.
I think she's got a good shot.
Yeah, I think she does, unless Emma Stone, some people will go see Emma Stone's movie, and I don't think many are going to do that.
Poor Things is a little more divisive.
It is very much so, yeah. And so there's something. So, which one do you think will take the Oscar? We can look way
Oh
ahead.
gosh, you're talking. Well, I think that's probably going to be a discussion for another day
Okay.
about what's going to win the
Yes.
Oscar. Mainly because we have yet to see who's going to bubble up to the top during award season. Because we still have Golden Globes to churn through.
Yes.
We still have Critics' Choice to churn through.
Yeah, you're right.
We got all the best of the year lists, but the idea of who's going to win, you don't feel that momentum, because I think 3 months ago people were like, Oppenheimer's definitely going to
I know, you're right. Yeah,
and But will it? That's the big question. You know, will it be enough to? Because now we got to get into the campaigning season. Because we don't even have an award. I mean, we have like Golden Globes and Critics' Choice out there. We don't even have the Oscar nominations.
Yeah,
we don't
right.
get those for a while.
And you're right, and we will do a show on that, but I think that at least the three and probably your top five, there's gonna be one in there, and I thought last month that Oppenheimer was, and now I'm beginning to think that maybe Barbie, and who knows that will be a great occurrence if that wins. And
I think at this point, you know, beginning of January, it's Oppenheimer's to lose.
yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
But and I think what's throwing people off of Barbie, because we're starting to swerve into the Barbenheimer phenomenon. We'll talk about that in a second. But Barbie tends to get more nominations because, and this is not a reflection of the quality of the movie, because I thought Barbie was a hoot. But it has a couple song nominations. It has a lot of like nominations in multiple categories.
It's a full bag of yes.
So it's not like it's, you know, it's getting a lot of this slate of nominations, but it always seems to edge out Oppenheimer in the numbers because it has 2 or 3 songs,
Right.
and other elements about it. Whereas if you look at, not to get, you know, gatekeeping, but the purity of the awards that Oppenheimer is getting noted for, it's getting a lot of the same awards. It just doesn't have a couple cool. It doesn't have I'm Ken as the song, and I think it was in the Golden Globes or the Critics' Choice. It's like got 3 songs competing against itself in that category. So
and I think that Oppenheimer tends to be flat for me. That is, it's a very similar take through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Barbie has so much richness, so much color, and so much variety. But that's the same way I feel about Killers of the Flower Moon. I think it's maybe more textured than Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is just an interesting movie to me and an interesting character.
See, I was not a fan of Oppenheimer because I've grown kind of sour to Christopher Nolan stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's kind of a pretentious windbag.
Well, we mentioned Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone, so I think we've kind of taken care of the best actresses.
I think Carey Mulligan's certainly
yes,
up there. I don't think she's got the momentum I thought she would have from Maestro.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think because the thing with Lily Gladstone, what I found fascinating about her is something they're just like, hey, we're just going to take this relatively unknown actress and just kind of drop her in with Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio, and she holds her own. You know,
she certainly does. Best actor.
Yeah.
Tell me who was your favorite best actor?
Oh gosh, I do love Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction.
Not enough people are going to see that.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's got traction.
Talk
I think
about
it's got traction.
Low key, minimalist performance, beautiful.
But that's Wright.
I know.
And the thing that makes Wright work in this is he's one that I think could kind of sneak up. I think he has a potential. I think obviously you got I don't know, Scorsese, De Niro, which one's the lead? Whoever gets, I forget what they're campaigning into for that. And you've got that. I think Bradley Cooper for Maestro. I don't think he's going to get the Oscar nom for the acting. And of course you've got Cillian Murphy. That's the one I think is the front runner again for that.
I know, and again, when I put my favorite is Bradley Cooper and Maestro.
Yeah.
When I put those two together, and I think you're quite right that Cillian is at this point in the front runner, I see so much more variety in Bradley Cooper's performance.
I think he did a great job with it.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job of not making a caricature.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing to do when you have a character that's as big as Leonard Bernstein is.
But yes.
Or was.
Yeah.
And with the amount of close-up work and the amount of him changing the nuances performance from when he was young to when he was old. I think there's a lot in there where you're right. I think Cillian Murphy's is a little more one note through the whole film.
Yes, and that's my index, yeah.
But I'd love to see Jeffrey Wright. And the only thing I think Jeffrey Wright, because there seems to be a little bit of momentum that movie has, American Fiction has, that because it came out late enough.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I think that. But what I find fascinating is it seems to be usually it's like the actor category is a little more interesting than the actress category. But this year I think it's flipped. I think the actors category is way more competitive and way more interesting in terms of the types of performances you see.
Yeah, I'm trying to look here for other actresses. For a drama, yeah, Annette Bening's in there, but she's not gonna, not enough
she's
people
not
are gonna
gonna
see
get
that,
that.
no. Greta Lee in Past Lives, I love that, but not enough people will see that.
It's getting that the independent
Yeah.
stuff, the stuff where people watch. Past Lives got a weird amount of momentum. Now it's funny you making a big thing about How I See Everything. I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen what?
I haven't seen Past Lives. There are some
well, yeah,
holes.
right, that's tough.
Because that's one
Yeah.
that kind of came out like in May or something, and then
Yeah, that's right,
and then
right.
it just shows up in all the awards.
Now, I thought Coleman Domingo was pretty good in Rustin.
I thought he had a great year for Rustin and The Color Purple.
I haven't seen that, I'm gonna see that this week.
Color Purple's pretty good. In fact, I would love to see Fantasia get a nomination
Okay,
for it as well.
good.
And I mean, like the supporting category too. I mean, Color Purple. I forget the actress's name, but who plays it's the role that Oprah played in the original film. She was great in The Color Purple. Also, was it Divine Randolph from The Holdovers?
Yeah, from the Holdovers.
I think I'd love to see her get some traction.
So are you, well, right here, for the Golden Globes, I have Emily Blunt, Danielle
Yeah.
Brooks, and Danielle Brooks.
Daniel Brooks was for Color
That-
Purple.
Okay, yeah, good.
And then even for Holdovers too, I think people are forgetting about Paul Giamatti. I think he had momentum when
yeah.
the movie came out and somehow it lost it.
Yeah. Kevin Carr,
Yeah.
people are gonna have to go to our podcast, Back Talk, in order to hear more about what we have to say.
Yeah.
And they're not even gonna be able to see your glasses.
Aw.
But tell me what you thought of the year, just in general.
I think we're still in a bit of a recovery, and then you had the disruption of the union strikes, the SAG
Right, that's
and the
right,
Writers Guild. So I think it was a good, steady recovery out of it, but we're not quite back to the momentum. But there were some very interesting things, and I'll just put this out. I'll leave this with everybody because this is very highbrow. Every movie that I really enjoyed this year was like Dating Kim Kardashian. It came with a really big butt. And a lot of times it was like Running Time or something like that.
Yes.
But there was very few movies that I just absolutely loved from the get-go. Everything had a little asterisk.
Yes,
next to it.
yeah. And that's my feeling over the year, which is why I really enjoyed it. It takes time for me to think of what's the best, it's not easy this year.
You have to reflect.
It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a spectacle. From San Francisco to